like and subscribe. NSFW, what are some things that a guy should never ever tell his wife? I didn't get to try my mother's lasagna till I was 20 years old. Why? My father, in a temporary bout of insanity, whilst eating my mother's homemade, said to her, "This is really good lasagna, but you know who makes really good lasagna? My ex-wife." Well, recently in r/sex a guy said, while drunk to his wife, "I'm tired of your p***y and I want to try a new one." So that's up there. Reminds me of an old joke. A cheating husband decided to write a letter to his wife. "My dear wife, you will surely understand that I have certain needs that you, as a 54-year-old, can no longer satisfy. I'm very happy with you, and I value you as a good wife. However, after reading this letter, I hope you will not wrongly interpret the fact that I will be spending the evening with my 18-year-old secretary at the Comfort Inn. Please don't be upset, I shall be back before midnight." When the man came home late that night, he found a reply to his letter on the dining room table. "My dear husband, I received your letter and thank you for your honesty about my being 54 years old. I would like to take this opportunity to remind you that you are also 54 years old. I would like to inform you that, while you read this, I will be at the Hotel Fiesta with Michael, one of my students, who is also an assistant tennis coach. He is young, virile, and, like your secretary, he is 18. You, being a successful businessman with an excellent knowledge of math, will understand that we are in the same situation. Although with one small difference, 18 goes into 54 a lot more times than 54 goes into 18. See you in a week's time." That the best sex he ever had wasn't with her. I once heard my stepdad say, my mom was standing right beside him, that his ex-wife was a 10 in looks but a 4 in personality, but that my mom was a 4 in looks, but a 10 in personality. He thought it was a compliment. And he still hasn't lived it down, but his story has changed over time. My mom is now a 7 in looks LMAO. That she behaves like her mother. Your ex or exes, even if she ask, never ever try to compare them. My ex beat cancer, why can't you? You were more fun before we got married. Just lay some truth for anyone not yet married. Men expect that women will not change after they're married. They will. Women expect that men will change after they're married. They will not. Dad was drunk one night when I was 16 and said to mum that she was a fat cow and wished she didn't get that surgery as it made her who she is today. She had breast cancer and had to have surgery to get rid of it. She had a tissue expansion which made her D's become E's for a period of time and Dad hated it. My husband once said I married my mother, and I am still plotting his death. Edit. Wow. Did not expect this kind of response. Thanks for all the upvotes, and wow, an award. Also, I replied to a comment, but a lot of people have not seen it. I'm nothing like this mom. Total opposite. Fatter as why she hates me. Lol. My husband and I have gone to couples therapy and he realized that he is an exact replica of all of her terrible behaviors, and he was projecting it onto me. He did not realize that he behaved in the same hurtful ways and thought that everyone else, mostly me, was the problem. Thank goodness for therapists working us through that sweet childhood trauma. That something is easy when she is clearly struggling to do it. This particularly applies to physical things, even if they do not necessarily require strength. My wife was complaining that there was no food, said she was starving. There was, she's just picky. It got on my nerves a bit and I said, "Well, you don't look like you're starving." Don't ever say that. This hot new girl just started at the office. My first business partner learned that the hard way. The real cost of the guitar he just bought. When I was a teen, my dad proclaimed in front of my mom that every man needs 3 women in his life. The one you F. the one you love, and the one that takes care of you. Lies. That her breasts used to be perkier. What happened to your grate? The same thing that happened to your washboard abs and hair. That she needs to relax. My wife asked me which of her friends I'd like to have a threesome with. I gave her 2 names. I'm done. You must be getting your period soon. I'd totally. Your sister. My mom was right about you. Huh, I told you so. Applies to both the spouses. Family Feud is polling Reddit now. How big an inch really is. Wow, your sister slash friend maintained her figure really well after their kid was born. That waitress has a nice drunken argument. I said something inappropriate. She replied, well, fatter is below the belt. I immediately came back with so are your teeth, sir. I would not recommend this rebuttal. Apparently not that she needs to freshen up down there. I was once about to go down on my wife, and it was a hot summer day and I guess I kind of recoiled. Long story short, she was so embarrassed, and like mentally scarred, that she is now super self-conscious and does not really want me to go down on her vertical bar, but I love performing oral on women. Should have kept my mouth shut. It's the way in which you bring something up. Sweat and discharge are a thing. When I want to go down on my partner, I usually ask, how about you go freshen up so I can? Before even getting my face close, because hygiene is important, and we both know it. It works very well. My biggest fear if I die, is my wife will sell my fishing rods at the price I told her I paid. My dad, who does not bake anything, and barely cooks at all, while eating a slice of my mama's homemade apple pie. You don't cut the apples right. And that was the last apple pie she ever made for him. Around 40 years ago. When I asked how I looked to my partner, after getting all dressed up, he glanced up and down, shrugged his shoulders, and remarked, you look just like every other mother at the school gate. The unfortunate fact is, that many mothers at our school gato where I live, have sadly not taken care of themselves for whatever reasons. I am not judging them, most happen to be incredibly lovely ladies. Sometimes life happens. But this comment hurt me to no end, when I make consistent effort, and look better than I did many years ago. It was unbelievably hurtful. Men, if you don't have anything good, or at least constructively helpful, to say to your wife, either smile and nod, or keep quiet altogether. I think we should stop having threesomes with your twin sister. Call her the C word in an argument to shut her up. Unless you are an Australian. In that case, she probably called you a first. Pro tip. When arguing with women. 1. Never call her any bad words. 2. Never divert from topic, and don't let her either. 3. Try to be respectful. It's just an argument. Not irreconcilable differences. 4. If she tries to divert, just tell her that you know she's wrong and that's why she's using this tactic. 5. If you're wrong, just admit it. 6. If both are wrong, say so loudly. 7. Try not to bring old arguments in this one. If she does, call her out and tell her to stick to the argument. 8. If she's cutting you mid-sentence, call her out. 9. If she's throwing stuff at you / hitting you, walk away from the relationship. It's not normal / healthy. 10. Never point your finger at her. 11. If she says something offensive, see point 4. Details about sex life prior to meeting her. That Sheila's not interesting. Or that you don't want her sexually any longer. Do not insult a person like that, just go away. If you cannot calmly and respectfully communicate with your wife, at least one of you sucks. He does not want a kid after they decided to have a kid and get pregnant. It is a thing to do. Don't mind me, just taking notes for future Elati on Seepso vertical bar. Years ago my GF asked if there was anything I would change about her. She has a large nose and was a bit paranoid about it, but it didn't bother me, wasn't ridiculously large. I figured I'd say something to make her less conscious of the nose, so my genius mind came up with bigger tits. I shoulder said nothing. I shoulder just said nothing. You've been visited by the ghost of a very important man. Pay your respects by liking and subscribing, and he'll grant you 3 weeks of good luck.